What's up, Mets fans? Welcome back to the channel. And the Mets have officially begun their prospect camp today, which means minor leaguers will be getting themselves prepped at Port St. Lucie, getting ready for the upcoming season for their respective leagues, whether that's all the way at low A to all the way up at triple A. And in doing so, us fans get to keep a close eye on these prospects, the future New York Mets, if you will, including top prospects like, yes, catcher Francisco Alvarez. And when Francisco was asked by the media earlier today what his goals are for this upcoming year, he said it's quite simple. I want to crack the New York Mets roster, get some games in, make my MLB debut, so on and so forth. So that's what I'll be breaking down in today's video. Everything that there is to know about Francisco Alvarez and his game. Why exactly is he so coveted and so highly ranked as a prospect, not just for the Mets, but across the entire MLB? And what is the likelihood of Alvarez even making his MLB debut and potentially even having some type of impact for the Mets this season? So as always, folks, make sure you stay all the way till the end of the video for all the details and all my thoughts on Francisco Alvarez and the potential of him having an impact for the Mets in 2022. And as always, folks, if you find yourself enjoying this kind of Mets content and you want to see more great Mets content like this, don't hesitate for smashing that like and subscribe button, sharing this video with your friends, on the notification bell, all those great things. Thank you all so much for the continued support, folks. Now let's jump right into today's video. All right, folks, I'm pretty pumped up to get into this one. I'm sure you are too, because when you look at the Mets' future, you have to look at what are guys that could potentially have long-term fits for this club out of their prospects and even have franchise-level potential. That is what you get with someone like Francisco Alvarez. And in case you guys don't know who Alvarez is, he, of course, was signed by the New York Mets out of Venezuela as an international free agent a couple years ago. He's only at the age of 20 right now and has spent 2 seasons now in the minor leagues, first in 2019 and now most recently in 2021. Didn't have a chance to play games in 2020 because of the pandemic going on. Minor league games simply didn't happen, unfortunately. But Alvarez in his 2021 season at the age of 19, now turned 20 over the past couple months, put on a tremendous campaign. One of the best campaigns you see from any minor leaguer across the board, splitting time in low A and high A throughout the season. In just under 100 games, 99 games to be exact, he had himself 24 home runs, 70 RBIs, 67 runs scored, a 272 average, a 388 on base percentage, and a 554 slugging. Can we just take a moment to appreciate those numbers? As a 19-year-old at the time, as a catcher, this guy, he's 5'10", he weighs a good amount, he's stocky, but he's broad, he's strong as all heck, and he is someone that is destined to be that next big thing at the catching position for the New York Mets, with the potential that, yes, people have been saying to the level of a Mike Piazza type. Now, again, I think we're stretching a bit there. I don't think he's going to get Piazza level, but the point is that he is destined to be potentially the next best thing at the catching spot for the Mets since they had Piazza all those years ago. So point now is Francisco Alvarez is someone that is set to hit the MLB level within the next, you would say, a year and a half or so. But no, he is trying to set the standard that he is going to hit the bigs right now at some point throughout the 2022 year. Now, granted, that is a tall task. And when you look at the expected time of arrival for Francisco Alvarez, it is not for 2022. So he knows that the odds are against him, and he knows that the New York Mets are a team that is by no means going to rush someone like him. But you have to love the competitiveness and the mentality that Alvarez has at such a young age, because he comes into the Mets now as not just their best prospect, and that's universally across the board, but as you see here throughout the MLB's rankings, he is ranked, if you see from Keith Law of The Athletic, he has him ranked the 8th best prospect in all baseball. If you see through MLB.com, he has him ranked the 10th best prospect in all baseball. If you look through McDaniel through ESPN's top 100 prospect rankings, he has him at 9th. So he's steadily one of the top prospects in the game right now, and for good reason, not just because of his offensive ability, but just the raw power he has, how composed he is, how advanced, how mature he is at such a young age. Because if you look him in comparison to the top catching prospect in baseball, Alvarez is really ranked 2nd right now, to number 1 being Adley Rutschman, of course, for the Baltimore Orioles, who looks like a stud. He's 24 years old. He's at least 4 years older than someone like Alvarez. So Alvarez is doing things at a crazy pace right now, and he's destined to start the season as of now in Double-A. So to go all the way from Double-A to hitting the bigs, I don't like that scenario. I don't like the likelihood of it happening. Not that I don't want to see it happen. I would love to see Alvarez get to the bigs sooner than later. But the point is, the Mets aren't going to rush him. But knowing that Alvarez has these goals set and he has made it public tells you that he is going to go all out throughout the season. There's no doubt in my mind. What this guy has done in such a short period of time, he had just under a 1,000 OPS as a 19-year-old, splitting time between 2 leagues, that being in low A, of course, with Port St. Lucie, and then high A with the Brooklyn Cyclones. So he is someone that we need to be keeping a close eye on. And if you're wondering again, why is Alvarez so coveted? it's his overall game. This is someone that is not a defensive liability. If you check out all of his prospect reports, if you watch his games, I've seen him in public. I went to a Brooklyn Cyclones games last season. He hit himself a home run in the one game that I actually was able to attend, and also had himself an RBI double. So he rakes. You love to see. But Alvarez is someone where if you look at his build, he isn't fat by any stretch. Let me make that clear. He is broad. He is stocky. And he is someone that when you look at the swing, the type of power he has in this bat is pretty much unprecedented for a guy at his age playing the catching position. And there's an even belief that maybe he's not going to play catcher his entire career that I've seen in recent reports, knowing that maybe you're going to get the best out of him at the DH position. So that way you're going to get more longevity health-wise, because we know how catchers work. Of course, when it comes to their knees, if that's going to be a detriment to his offensive success down the road, maybe you do want to have him in the DH. But as of now, he profiles best at the catching position long-term for the New York Mets. And we got to be really excited about what he could potentially bring, maybe even as soon as, yes, this upcoming 2022 season, whenever that's going to start. And Alvarez, who was named the Mets minor league 2021 position player of the year, and for great reasons, obviously, is destined to have quite the impact for whatever teams he's playing for throughout the minor leagues, or even potentially for the Mets in this upcoming season. Now, what could really be the X factor outside of performance and bringing up someone like Alvarez? It could be the guys of McCann and Nito, the current guys at the backstop for the Mets. The Mets are not deep at the catching position. They really do lack there right now, not just with offensive production, but overall have not looked great from this past season. We'll see how they do this year. Nito is a stud defensively. McCann has his moments for sure, but both of them are not known for their offensive prowess or production. So in this scenario, potentially, not that I wish it, but saying that maybe one of them at least misses a decent amount of time or is really slumping, maybe you can give that consideration to Alvarez if he is raking in the minor league level. And that's the thing. Alvarez really needs to be one of the best minor league hitters in all of baseball this year to rightfully justify rushing him up. I shouldn't even say rushing, just bringing him up. They feel he's ready. Now, if you want to do comparisons, now I wouldn't comp them based on the actual player and talent, but the point of jumping all the way from AA to the bigs in a season, first guy that popped in my mind is a guy we talked about on the channel recently, that being in Juan Soto. Soto, when he hit the bigs, same exact situation for the Washington Nationals, came all the way from AA to the MLB and never looked back. He stayed, and look at what he's done now. He's arguably the best player, best hitter in baseball. Alvarez has the potential where if he does rake in the minor leagues this season, gets himself a shot at the MLB level, I would be a little surprised to see him go back to the minor leagues. He feels like that type of prospect that is so coveted, that is so talented, that if he does in fact hit the Mets as soon as 2022, you could probably expect him to stay, knowing the type of immediate impact he's going to have. Again, don't want to rush him, but whenever he's going to come to the Mets, it's going to be something awfully special. We all have to be pumped, excited about this young man, what he's going to bring as potentially the next franchise type catcher that the Mets simply haven't had since someone like Mike Piazza. So Mets fans, let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about Francisco Alvarez sharing these bold comments, this bold goal to hit the Mets at some point in 2022? Do you think that's going to happen, or do you think that no, he's going to fall short, not because of production, but just because of where the Mets currently stand with their roster? Whatever your thoughts are, please make sure to let me know all your thoughts in the comments below, as always, folks. And again, if you found yourself enjoying this kind of Mets content and you want to see more great Mets content like this, don't hesitate to smash that like and subscribe button, sharing this video with your friends, put on the notification bell, all those great things. Thank you all so much for the continued support, folks, and I'll talk to you real soon. Let's go Mets, baby.